What if our online personas could become blueprints for our real-world growth? How might the fantastical worlds of anime like Solo Leveling actually contain profound psychological insights about human potential? And what would happen if we approached our daily lives with the same determination to level up as the characters who discover hidden power systems in their reality? I'm Robbie, and this is Design Imperative. Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This sentiment echoes powerfully through the genre of Isekai anime and similar power progression stories, where ordinary people are transported to extraordinary worlds or discover hidden systems that force them to evolve beyond their limitations. But I'd argue we don't need to be thrown into a monster-filled dungeon like Song Yin-woo in Solo Leveling to undergo such transformation. The opportunity exists for all of us, every single day. Consider the psychological architecture of these narratives. In Solo Leveling, Yin-woo begins as the world's weakest hunter, dismissed and disrespected by his peers. But when he gains access to a hidden leveling system, he discovers capabilities he never knew he possessed. He's given explicit pathways to improvement through quests, stats, and level-ups. His growth isn't abstract, it's quantifiable, visible, and rewarding. We see similar patterns in other anime like Re, where Subaru must repeatedly face his failures to grow, or In That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, where Rimuru transforms from an ordinary salaryman into a powerful leader who builds a nation. Even Log Horizon shows us characters who must apply real-world skills in new contexts, allowing them to reinvent themselves entirely. What's fascinating is how these environments strip away the accumulated baggage of the protagonist's original identity. Yin-woo isn't bound by his reputation as the world's weakest hunter. Once he begins his solo journey of improvement, Rimuru isn't constrained by corporate hierarchies or social expectations. These settings offer them a psychological reset, a chance to construct identities based on their actions rather than their histories. This phenomenon isn't just fiction. When we step into online spaces, we do have the opportunity to present versions of ourselves unconstrained by physical limitations or past mistakes. But the critical question becomes, what kind of persona do we choose to embody? Too often, the anonymity of digital spaces leads people towards their shadow selves, trolling, stirring drama, or engaging in behavior they'd never consider in physical reality. It's as if the absence of immediate social consequences unleashes precisely the aspects of personality we should be most vigilant about integrating consciously. But what if we inverted this pattern? What if, instead of using online spaces to indulge our worst impulses, we approach them as laboratories for becoming our ideal selves? The psychological principle at work here is what I'd call aspirational identity formation. When you deliberately embody traits you aspire to, kindness, courage, discipline, you're not merely pretending, you're engaging in a profound form of psychological priming that gradually reshapes your self-concepts. The philosopher William James captured this brilliantly when he wrote, "Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does." Or to put it in terms more relevant to our discussion, act as if you are already the person you wish to become, and gradually, you will become that person. This brings me to a practical dimension of this psychological principle. The leveling system in Solo Leveling isn't just a narrative device, it's an incredibly powerful psychological tool. When Yin-woo completes a quest and sees his stats increase, when he unlocks new abilities through consistent effort, we witness the perfect embodiment of visible, measurable growth. The satisfaction we feel watching him transform from weakest to strongest parallels our own desire for meaningful personal development. We now have unprecedented tools to apply these same principles to our daily life. Fitness apps that track our physical development, language learning platforms that quantify our expanding vocabulary, meditation programs that record our growing capacity for mindfulness. These aren't just convenient technologies, they're psychological frameworks that make our personal evolution tangible and rewarding. But perhaps the most profound aspect of this phenomenon is a relationship between our digital and physical selves. In the vast progression narratives, the protagonist doesn't just grow within the game system. Their evolution transforms how they engage with the broader world. Yin Wu's increasing power changes how he sees his responsibility to others. In Sword Art Online, Kirito's digital strength becomes real-world courage. Their online development translates into authentic transformation. This points to a fundamental truth about human psychology. We are remarkably fluid beings. The boundaries between who we are online and offline, between who we are and who we aspire to be, are far more permeable than we typically imagine. Frank Lloyd Wright, the revolutionary architect, captured this perfectly when he said, "The thing always happens that you really believe in, and the belief in a thing makes it happen." Our beliefs about who we are literally shape who we become. So maybe there's profound wisdom in occasionally dressing as Batman to do our work. Not literally wearing a cape and a cowl, but approaching our tasks with the same sense and purpose and commitment as someone who's accepted a heroic mantle. By deliberately embodying the characteristics of the person we wish to become, we begin the alchemical process of transformation. I believe this is the hidden psychological gift of anime like Solo Leveling, Mishoku Tensei, or Demon Slayer. Beyond the entertainment value, beyond the fantastical scenarios, they remind us that growth requires both aspiration and structured pathways. They show us characters who, when given the proper framework, discover capabilities they never knew they possessed. We don't need to be awakened as a hunter or transported to another world to experience this transformation. We simply need the courage to approach each day as an opportunity to level up, to be kinder, more disciplined, more purposeful than we were yesterday. To recognize that our online personas aren't separate from our authentic selves, but potentially powerful expressions of who we're capable of becoming. So the next time you log into a digital space, ask yourself, am I using this as an opportunity to indulge my worst impulses, or as a laboratory for becoming my best self? Am I approaching my growth with the same deliberateness as Jin Woo completing quests or Tanjiro mastering his breathing techniques? Let me remind you that perhaps the most extraordinary revelation isn't found in the fantastical worlds of our favorite anime, but in recognizing that the gap between who you are and who you could become isn't bridged by magical systems or divine intervention. It's crossed through the quiet heroism of intentional daily transformation. Your life isn't a game, but your evolution can be just as deliberate, just as magnificent, and infinitely more real. This has been Design Imperative. I'm Robbie. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Share it with somebody who you think might like this sort of thing. It really helps me out a lot. If you really like it, as always, there's a Ko-Fi link down in the description. You can go support me over there so I can keep creating more of these design imperatives. Plus, you get early access 1 week in advance. You can watch them. and monthly audiobook ratings for all my supporters. That's the only way. 98 point something % of you are not subscribed to the channel. So if you made it this far, just take a moment and subscribe. I appreciate you. There's new episodes every Saturday. I'll catch you guys next time. Until then, stay plugged in, stay connected, stay safe. Robbie out. Ciao, ciao.